Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of the Simple Pin podcast. This is part 2 in our Troubleshooting Pinterest series, and it's all about keywords. Keywords have been a part of the Pinterest ecosystem for over 10 years. It's essentially how pins get surfaced when pinners search for a particular topic or product. It's also how pins end up in your home feed after you've searched for something. Without keywords, we really wouldn't have Pinterest. It would just be a bunch of pretty pictures thrown around. So then as a marketer, how do we add these in? Where do we find them? And frankly, how do we be intentional about them? A lot of people struggle with keywords, and I think part of the reason they struggle is that they've done so much marketing and so much content creation that we get to this point at Pinterest and we just kind of slap up a description. I know I am guilty of that too. I've created a podcast, I've created this video, and then I get to this part about a Pinterest image, which takes me an extra bit of time, and then you want me to write a few sentences that describe it with creativity and with a lot of intention. Frankly, by that point, I slow down a bit. I have covered the topic of Pinterest keywords extensively over the last 9 years of this podcast. I actually went back to look through my website and lost count of how many posts I had done. In fact, one of the very first podcasts I did, number 35, in fact, we're on 427, was around this topic. So what I'm going to do today is I'm not going to spend too much time on it because frankly, I've done it a lot. I want to list some resources for you, but most importantly, I want to talk about the problem that I see and a few things you can do to fix it, as well as leave you with some resources. Stay with us. Since we're talking about keywording, I do want to bring this up. We have created an extensive, and by extensive, I mean probably around 20 pages covering 10 plus categories, all about how to use keywords in your Pinterest marketing. If you are, let's say, dry with ideas, inside this keyword planning guide, there's trending keywords for all seasons, how to use keywords, how to not use keywords, non-seasonal keyword ideas, and seasonal keyword ideas, in addition to additional pages that can give you ideas for brainstorming, places to take notes, and it's yours for free. Simply scroll down below in the description and you will find this freebie there. It's simplepinmedia.com. It's our keyword guide, so don't forget to grab that link. If you are diving into this episode already and you're thinking, well, I'm just going to go get the guide, that's fine too. You don't have to stick around. So that's kind of like your cheat sheet. So go ahead and grab our free Pinterest keyword guide on our website below. Okay, back to the episode. Keywords. So the problem that I see with Pinterest keywords out there is what I said in the beginning. People are not being intentional about choosing the right keywords, or they simply don't even know where to go to choose the right keywords, which I understand. It is hard when you are thinking about Google, you're thinking about YouTube, you're thinking about Instagram or TikTok and Facebook, you're thinking about all of them, and you have to assume on some level that people are searching the same keyword. But sometimes what we find is that people on Pinterest might not be searching that same keyword. So it's worth the due diligence to spend at least 5 or 10 minutes just double checking. The other problem I see is that people will turn on the auto post feature from Instagram so that it will take an Instagram post and auto pin it to Pinterest. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, or this is new news to you, I'll leave a link to a video below where you can talk about why this was created and how to turn it on or to turn it off. A lot of people who don't have websites will leave this turned on because Instagram is their main point of content creation. This is great, but what happens is that your description on Instagram is nothing like what your description should be on Pinterest. Therefore, we have a lot of pins that you've put out onto Pinterest that are not optimized or don't have the right keyword. And then people stand back and say, Pinterest isn't working. It doesn't work for me. I don't understand it. I'm going to give up. But before you give up, here's a few fixes you should know that you can put in place before you jump ship. 1, slow a little bit down and get intentional. I know this part is hard. We are fast and furious. I do it all the time. I have all these things on my checklist. All the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, it feels like. And then I bump up into this thing and it's like, oh, you're kidding me. I have to give another 5 to 10 minutes to this. It's okay. You can slow down and you can use a tool. We have a few tools out there. One, there's 2 native tools that Pinterest has. The Trends tool, you can find this by going to trends.pinterest.com. There's so much information in this. Now, don't let that make you feel overwhelmed. It's good information. There's a lot of creative ideas you can get from this, a lot of new keyword ideas. If you're looking for what keyword to use, start there. Number 2, the search bar. You can go on your phone, you can go on desktop, simply search to surface which keyword you want to use. Tailwind also has a keyword tool that you can use. You can search up what keywords are most popular, or there's some other ones out there that you could potentially use as well. Regardless of whatever tool you use, the important part is that you use one, so that you can start to begin to get an idea of where you're going to target. Now, you don't have to do this every single time you create a new post or a new pin. You can get a general idea of what you want to use as your keywords and just use those. You could even put them into a spreadsheet, pull them in every time, or maybe you have 10 or so variations of descriptions that you want to use. I do want to make this note here since AI is coming into the discussion and there's been a lot of conversation about images on Pinterest being AI modified. We did ask the Pinterest team, I am an educator with Pinterest, if the AI would be flagged. Like, it's flagged right now if you use AI to create an image. It's a little thing that says AI modified. If the description is written with AI, is that also flagged? And what we know at this time is it is not. And I think that's really great because using AI, I like Claude. That is my favorite. I feel like it writes in a really great voice. Plus, I don't get all the rocket emojis that you get from ChatGPT. So leverage these tools to make that part quicker, but just double check it to make sure it's using the right keyword. You could even ask it. We use an optimized keyword for Pinterest in this description, and it makes it so quick. You can even ask it to write 10 to 20 for you if you know you're going to be using it on different products or different pieces of content. So leverage them, but make sure they sound like normal, natural sounding sentences. And I believe, for some reason, I heard that it might have been increased, but I think it's 500 characters still for your description. We'll list the specifications down below in the description and just begin to get into this rhythm and this habit. Most of you who are listening to this podcast have been listening for a while, so you know keywords are important. But some of you who are new to Pinterest might be asking, well, why do I need to keyword? You need to keyword on Pinterest so that your products or your content get found. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, this was a short and sweet episode. There wasn't a whole lot that I needed to cover here that I haven't covered before, but I wanted to bring it to the forefront to have you be thinking about these things in particular so that you could ask yourself, am I doing pretty good at keywords? Or am I really ignoring them and kind of brushing past them and being super unintentional about them? If that's you, slow down a little bit, get intentional about keywords, and get very specific about the ones that you're using. Okay, next up, we are going to actually cover our third and final installment of troubleshooting Pinterest marketing, and that is content. Been asked about it lately again, so I'm going to dive into it next week on our podcast. Thanks so much for listening.